The details, I can just tell you that the person went into a classroom and they got into a verbal altercation with one of the other students. Not a physical, but verbal. That's what brought the attention of the teacher to get a hold of security, who went and contacted the person and brought him to the administration office.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part, my bad. Can you just go again from the top about what happened?
Yeah, so it was a student that came onto campus, or a person that came onto campus that was not a student. The person went into a classroom and got into a verbal altercation with another student. The teacher obviously identified that the person wasn't a student. They had security come up. Security took the person, escorted him to the administrative office. While they're at the office, the officer conducted a pat down, found some brass knuckles in the person's pocket. Obviously, we had trespassing charges at this time. The officer went and searched the backpack, located a gun. That time he decided to go ahead and handcuff the person, and the person started resisting arrest at that time. They got into a little scuffle, and the person was taken into custody.
Let's talk about the protocol. I mean, this is all over the country, and this one turned out really great. What everybody did.
As far as general protocol, like...
Yeah, as far as from the time that they noticed that he had weapons to the time they went to the law.
Yeah, as far as like school protocol, that's something you'd have to actually speak to the school PIO about. As far as police protocol, we're gonna treat this as safely as we can until we find out all the information. And that's the biggest problem. A lot of times we don't have all the information right off the bat. We just know we have a person with a gun. So that's why you start raising those concerns and then start doing things like lockdown searches. Fortunately, in this case, the school and the officers here worked together. We're able to go room by room to make sure everybody was safe and there was nothing further outstanding.
I've heard from some parents that there have been altercations here at this school recently and even like after school, outside of the school. Have you guys been called out here before to try to handle those types of situations? And is that more of a school problem that's what's going on? Or is that something that law enforcement from the outside can jump in and handle?
So on this school, we do have a school resource officer that works the school. Any school is going to have some problems, right? They're going to have some kids that fight, do some things. As far as any particulars on this school, I mean, I just don't know at this time what it is or what they exactly deal with, but it's not uncommon for those problems to have. Where the officers become involved in the school resource officers is when there's crimes committed. So you know, it's one thing to have a fight. They have a fight, turning into assault situation, things like that, disorderly conduct, disruption of a school institute. Those are what the school resource officers are there for. And in this case, it worked out because, you know, once the officer starts getting into an altercation with this, they can radio, and you're going to get that quick response from the officers in this location, which they did.
The person who walked on campus, did they make any verbal threats when they walked into that classroom saying that they were going to do harm to somebody there at the school?
I don't have all the details on the exchange of words. Our SRO wasn't in there, so we just don't have that information. But we do have a detective that is on scene that is doing a full investigation into all the incidents that happened.
Last for me, was it a handgun? Was it loaded? What type of gun was it?
I did not find out what type of gun it is, so that's something we'll be able to find out in the future. But from what my understanding was, it was some type of handgun.
I know if it was loaded.
I don't know.
I should ask that question again earlier. I guess how helpful is it to have an SRO on campus for these type of things? We have responding units coming in not knowing what the situation is.
Yeah, I mean, really, I look at two keys. One is getting that quick response. The other key is that communication with school staff. So the SROs here carry a radio to communicate with all the police officers that work here, but they also carry a radio to communicate with school staff and security. So they can act as that liaison at these times to make sure everything goes as quickly, as efficiently as possible.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What's your first name, Sergeant?
It's Randy, R-A-N-D-Y.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just to be clear, Sergeant, this guy was almost saying he looked like he was dressed as a student, had a backpack. That's why the SROs didn't initially contact him before he went to the classroom?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what he was dressed on. I know he had a backpack, but it was not identified that he was on school campus until he was in the room.
Any idea how he got on school campus with the gun?
I mean, you know, you could walk on. It's not a completely fenced area, so.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hey, how's it going? Oh, got it?
It is funny in Spanish, though.
Yeah.
Do you want it in Spanish?
Yes, thank you.
You didn't give a. It's too early for me.
Sir, do you have a I do. Who's going to talk to us? Hearing this information. Good to know that everybody was in here, but